What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend and is ready to conquer the week that is. And it was a big weekend in the world of pro wrestling. And I'm going to talk about Money in the Bank to kick off the week this week of vlogs. There will be plenty of wrestling talk because besides the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, there was one big story, other big story coming out of it, and we will talk all about that. We'll briefly touch on it here, but we will talk all about it on a vlog later this week because it is it's a monumental moment. It's a moment we all saw coming, but we didn't want to believe it, and I will get to it more later on a vlog later this week. But anyway, let's talk about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, man. So Money in the Bank went down Saturday from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada, formerly known as the Air Canada Centre. So yeah, man, and it was a great pay per view, man. Triple H has, with the smaller pay per views, Triple H has been going for quality over quantity, which is great, and the pay-per-views have been starting at 7 rather than 8, and it's been a welcome change. It took a little bit of getting used to, but it is a welcome change. But yeah, so let's talk about it. So the night kicked off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The participants were Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, L.A. Knight, Andrade, and Chad Gable. Man, and what a as with 99% of the 100% of the Money in the Bank ladder matches, even though the winner hasn't always cashed in to become WWE champion. There is one thing for sure that has remained constant in these types of matches. That is that they're an absolute car wreck, and that this one was no different, man. Just bodies flying everywhere. Chad Gable took some pretty wicked bombs, man. Andrade took some pretty wicked bombs. Carmelo Hayes, wound up, almost splitting a ladder in half. It was just pure insanity. But in the end, it was Drew McIntyre securing the Money in the Bank briefcase, and there is a little bit of a caveat to that, which we'll get into a little bit later in this vlog, and you'll see why I say that. But anyway, next up, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line as Braun Breaker looked to wrestle the Intercontinental Championship away from Sami Zayn. As you recall, Sami won it back at WrestleMania, defeating Gunther and ending his historic 600 plus day reign. And he hasn't taken his foot off the gas since. Sami Zayn, that is. And Braun Breaker, really tough challenger, just got called up from NXT recently, and just wreaking havoc on the main roster. And Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn went to war, man. It was a great match. It looked like Braun Breaker was going to win the Intercontinental Championship at times, but Sami Zayn was able to take it home and retain his Intercontinental Championship. And it'll be interesting to see where Sami goes heading into SummerSlam. Next up was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match as Seth Rollins, the returning Seth Rollins, took on the Judgment Day's Damian Priest. Now, halfway through before I get to what happened during the match, the stipulations during the match were as follows: that if Seth Rollins were to lose to Damian Priest, he would never be able to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian Priest was champion. And if Damian Priest were to lose to Seth Rollins, he would have to leave his group, the Judgment Day. So now let's get to what happened. Halfway, these two Seth Rollins and Damian Priest went at it in a very, very back and forth, very physical match. But halfway during the match, Drew McIntyre would cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, because that you can do that. The Money in the Bank briefcase allows you to cash in anywhere, anytime, for a guaranteed championship match for up to a year. Drew McIntyre did not want to wait and decided to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase right then and there, thus making it a triple threat match. But before Drew McIntyre could even really get to work, CM Punk made an appearance and just beat the absolute crap out of Drew McIntyre with a chair and hit him with the WWF World Championship belt, and just essentially took Drew McIntyre out of the match. But and while that was going on, Damian Priest was able to pick up the win over Drew McIntyre and thus keep his World Heavyweight Championship and himself in the Judgment Day. But it'll be interesting to see where this storyline goes now, because remember what I just said, Seth Rollins can no longer challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian Priest is champion, and CM Punk essentially screwed him out of the opportunity without him even getting pinned. So it'll be interesting to see where that storyline goes. Next up was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The participants in that match were Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, and Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Chelsea. Io Sky, Naomi, Lyra Valkyria, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyria. So on the women's side of things, Tiffany Stratton is your Miss Money in the Bank, and props to Chelsea Green for that epic table bump that she took during the Money in the Bank ladder match, man. Falling off the ladder through 2 tables, man. And Chelsea got a huge pop, considering she is from Canada, and Money in the Bank was held in Toronto, like I said. But props to all 6 of these ladies for doing their thing. But Tiffany Stratton is definitely on the rise, and what do you call it? It'll be interesting to see when and where she cashes her Money in the Bank briefcase in. Of course, she said during a recent interview that the first order of business was, when she won the Money in the Bank briefcase, was to dye it pink and put rhinestones on it and bedazzle it. So it'll be interesting to see if she does that. But anyway, in all seriousness, then it was time for your main event. The main event was a six-man tag team match pitting Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens against the New Bloodline, consisting this time of Solo Sikoa, Toma Tonga, and the debuting Jacob Fatu. I know if you saw the pay-per-view, you're probably saying to yourself, what happened at the end there where Tonga Loa, who was at ringside, Tama Tonga's brother, who botched the low blow, not once but twice. But hey, things happen. It's live TV. You can't blame the guy. Anyway, so and that low blow essentially led to Solo Sikoa picking up the win for his team, the Bloodline, by pinning the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. So now it'll be interesting to see where where that storyline goes heading into SummerSlam, because now Solo Sikoa has a legit case to challenge for the WWE Championship. The WWE Undisputed Championship, I should say. Sorry about that. But yeah, so like I said, overall good show. Quality over quantity. Wasn't too long, about 2.5 hours the show, and yeah, we'll get to the other major thing that happened at Money in the Bank that I didn't mention here later on this week in the vlog, because I feel that the other major thing that happened at Money in the Bank deserves its own vlog. So we'll talk about it. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And I, of course, will see you guys on the next one. Peace.